Ah, shit. Another sequel to The Ring? Does Samara crawl through the Sega Genesis this time? If so, she's gonna be pixelated as 22 golden Cheerios circling your logo will not deter my hatred of this 48-second waste of my life. It only makes me hungry, and I don't want to get up to snack. Jesus, Sega, you think you have enough clout to sport a long-ass Marvel-style opening logo at the beginning of your movie? I have to say, that's some chutzpah. Especially for a system whose second-best movie adaptation is... what is another Sega game adaptation? The House of the Dead? Holy you guys should not be leaning into this self-serving logo this hard.
So, I know what you're thinking.
Wow, you knew that I was thinking that starting your movie at the end, only to rewind and show how I got here, and actually start the movie a few minutes later was a cheap and lazy storytelling device? Also, Sonic the narration.
And I never had to catch a school bus because I could run across the entire island in less than 2 seconds.
True, Sonic can go wherever the hell he wants on this island, which makes me wonder, who else besides his maternal figure and the butthole arrow guys live here? That's a pretty f***ing big island for just a few people.
Also, there was no school. I know, pretty sweet island, right?
Education shaming.
Sonic, someone could have seen you.
No one saw me. I'm too fast.
If Longclaw doesn't want anyone to see Sonic run, maybe rethink the structures of this island that are very clearly tailored to Sonic's powers. Who else is going to zip through a loopity-loop or rocket up this ramp without dying?
You have a power unlike anything I've ever seen. And that means someone will always want it.
Mentor character spills super important shit about main character's powers, but only on their deathbed cliche. Also, maybe Longclaw should warn Sonic about accidentally shedding his Hedgehog needles, because this ends up being the only way anyone can access his unlimited power.
Never stop running.
What a mixed bag of mixed messages to be sending this adolescent alien hedgehog. Don't run because they'll find you, followed by never stop running so they don't find you. I think the takeaway lesson for the kids watching will be that adults have no clue what the f they're doing, so find a magic portal and escape whenever you can. Why does every parent have to die in an animated kids movie? Did Walt Disney's disembodied head have a secret meeting with his staff and any future directors of animated films and threaten them with his evil psychic powers if they kept one alive? I know Sheriff Tom is kind of half-assing it these days, but what a shitty hideout for a speed trap. Anyone coming from the side of the sign would easily see the front of the cruiser and slow down, and there's no way he can get a radar reading on anything until it does cross the sign. Not to mention, his nose is sticking all the way out in the freaking road, so he's endangering any approaching motorist. If the radar gun can comfortably sit in the window and function perfectly, why go through all the trouble to aim it at all? Grab a Sudoku book and wait for the beeper to beep. Better idea, wiggle your wangle. Also, okay, even at 296 miles per hour, Tom would be able to see Sonic approaching and running by, especially on a flat stretch of road like this. That's fast, but it ain't that fast. 296 is IndyCar fast, and you can clearly see them shits during a race. Hell, if he couldn't see him coming, he could sure see him going since he's looking right after him. And thus begins the magical blue MacGuffin that fuels a decent chunk of this movie. Why does Sonic only shed this one quill this entire movie, and presumably his entire life, within easy finding distance of the local sheriff? Only God, fate, and the screenwriters can sort that shit out. Also, Tom clearly went to the Fantastic Four school of picking up potentially alien things with your bare hands as soon as you come across them. Sure, he's no scientist, but he is a lawman, one who just went through a rigorous application to be an actual police officer. This is implying that the turtle wants to go fast. Turtles are down with being slow, man. Haven't you ever heard about the f***ing tortoise and the hare? Or at least seen a Comcast commercial? Wait, even if he can run fast, when did we ever get the indication that Sonic could speed read? And sure, maybe he's just blowing through them since he's read them before, but that's just bad comic booking. According to Sonic's handy-dandy map, he's visited a lot of unsafe planets, which is confusing considering Longclaw clearly told him that she was sending him to a safe world, and I guess that means Longclaw probably deserved to die. This whole sequence of staring at the map and then using a ring to solemnly look at another world makes no sense. First off, he's wasting a ring, one of the rings that we were specifically told were his most prized possessions. Second, we learn later that all you have to do is think of a place and the portal will open. Sonic somehow possesses previous knowledge of the Mushroom Planet and all the planets listed on this map. Where did this knowledge come from? The movie skips right over that and asks us to fill in the blanks.
My favorite person is the Donut Lord.
Jeez, starting at the end of the movie, parental figure dying, primary character narration, and now a cop eating a donut? I feel like without Jim Carrey, this movie would literally annihilate the cliché-o-meter. And we just got that thing fixed after the brutal beating it took from the Emoji Movie. I understand he has to keep hidden, but this is starting to get legitimately creepy. I don't care if he is an alien hedgehog. He's also a hormonal teenager watching a beautiful woman do yoga from behind.
There is one person in town who's actually onto me.
One? One person who is on to blue streak zooming out of my ass in broad daylight, Sonic. At this point, the entire town would believe in the Blue Devil, and his legend would have advanced to the point where parents were telling their kids to go to sleep or the blue streak will zip out of the darkness and steal your toys.
He calls me the Blue Devil.
I almost caught him last night.
I gotta say, I do agree with his blind hatred of Blue Devils for some reason I can't put my finger on.
Please, 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 please. Yes, Keanu! You are a national treasure.
Sonic the Peeper is loudly talking to himself on the other side of the window, and if he's hearing the movie this clearly, how is no one hearing him? How is the dog calm?
Dear Thomas, we have reviewed your application to the San Francisco Police Department.
You see, in movies, good or bad news can only be delivered by reading a mailed letter aloud in front of nervous family members.
Hey, what are those?
Apartments for rent I found on Zillow.
What a weird product placement, man. This is like if Tom just whipped out an obviously labeled White Claw to celebrate the job placement.
It's gonna be tough to leave my hometown and all my friendships.
Even if I hadn't seen this movie before, I would definitely know this speech is a fugazi. God, I really littered this entire fucking movie with obvious moments like this that take it from being truly awesome to just being watchable.
What do you think, Sergeant Sprinkles?
I think your sunglasses are going to be nasty and your donut will taste of metallic paper clips. Get a friend. I guess this kid has the same shine as Jacob Tremblay's character in Dr. Sleep. Hope he doesn't have to walk 2.5 miles home through a cornfield. I hear that's pretty dangerous. Envy. Hey, that's an actual CinemaSins. John Doe even used that shit. Wait, so no one turned the lights on after the game? And they left all this equipment behind? Did the commissioner of this little league go out for a bender after a nail-biter of a playoff game or something? God damn, the people who run this league are dicks. Kid from Green Hills hits a 3-run walk-off dinger to win a playoff game, but no one could be bothered to update a scoreboard afterward? He even pulled that shit on a full count. You're telling me they won't even let him snap a selfie of that shit after the game? Sonic gets sad and runs around the bases until he causes an EMP. No, I totally remember that being part of the original game.
I can't believe you're bringing that freak into this.
Neither can I, but we have no choice.
You know, the whole we have no choice bullshit in every movie, but especially this one. This man suggested bringing the 5th and 6th Regiment, whatever the that means, 30 seconds ago, literally offering another choice. Just say you want to find an excuse to introduce Jim Carrey's next eccentric character, and let's get on with it.
Tell him his men report to me now, blah, 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 blah.
Isn't this information that Bennington would immediately check out? Robotnik is spouting all this bullshit, but it's not like he's actually shown he's in charge of anything. All he did was flash a barcode at the Major, for fuck's sake. In other words, this works.
Do you see anything useful in this image?
Nothing at all, Doctor.
Besides a fully formed footprint near the scene of a cataclysmic event that disabled a quarter of the country? You don't see anything useful in that?
This guy is something else.
Or girl. I mean, we know it's a guy, but at this point it could be a girl or an it.
Mushroom Planet, here I come. Oh no, they're right outside. I gotta go somewhere else.
The fact that the enemy is right outside is the very reason to activate the portal ring and go through immediately. Good plot device, God! Someone forgot to read the horrible list of side effects when they took a massive overdose of their 4 reasons pills. Side effects include irritability that lasts the remainder of the film, an immediate feeling of dissatisfaction, an overall growing lack of respect for the writers of the film, and an increasing lack of interest in source material.
What you doing?
Just coloring with JoJo and Rachel.
You are coloring. JoJo is clearly playing with Legos, including building this massive spaceship, and she's working at a much higher grade level than you.
The only apps on my phone are the ones that came with it. In the Olive Garden.
Because when you're there,
Your family.
Mother these weird-ass product placements. Now they're saying the exact catchphrases from the commercials? Are they gonna start singing the Liberty Mutual theme next? I'm adding 30 more sins for this weird product placement.
Meow?
I don't know, I think he'd look less threatening if he had a giant set of teeth. I demand that the effects team go back now and fix the design so I can watch the Sonic of my dreams, damn it. Sonic isn't fast enough to dodge a fucking tranquilizer dart. It's not like he doesn't know what guns are. He's been here for 10 years. 10 years! This bag is such a shifty little bitch. Sonic pulled a ring out of it, didn't close it, and yet as it falls, the bag is clearly clamped shut. But earlier, when it gets knocked over by wee ping pong ball, all the contents came spilling out for narrative convenience.
Tona Lord?
You can talk.
Yeah, because not much has changed since it spoke to you in the shed a few minutes ago. You know, when it read San Francisco off your shirt right after clearly exclaiming, ow, after taking a dart to the leg.
Is this your mothership? I'm not in the mood to get probed.
Why does Tom immediately assume Sonic is an alien? Sure, he can talk and doesn't look like most animals or humans, but he's got pretty fucking animal and human-like features, and is even wearing shoes. Why wouldn't he think he's at least from a weird part of Earth, like Ohio?
But you have to help me.
No, I don't. Why?
Well, my legs, which normally would be classified as lethal weapons, feel like spaghetti.
Well, everything about Sonic, his speech, arm movements, and brain power have returned completely to normal after the tranquilizer, but his legs won't work? That's such lazy screenwriting that it might have been a leftover from a recent Star Wars script.
You're from the power company? Oh, you must know my buddy Spencer. We play softball together.
Spence. He's a good man.
Even as socially awkward as he is, there's no way an actual genius like Robotnik would fall for an easy trick like this. Holy shit. now this movie's ripping off E.T.? Has it no shame? Why are there multiple scanners up in the attic? It's a pretty big house, right? Not to mention that there's a lot of land outside that the perpetrator could have escaped to. They need a hard target search, damn it. They should be checking every gas station, residence, warehouse, farmhouse, henhouse, outhouse, and doghouse in that area. God damn it, another movie with armed drones. If Bad Boys for Life and Spider-Man Far From Home have taught me anything, it's that I hate f***ing armed drones.
Can you believe Amazon is gonna deliver packages with these things?
Topical humor that will be outdated by the time this movie hits the basic cable networks.
I just saw a guy race out of here and thought that you should stop them.
Nice opportunity for Jim Carrey to chew scenery, but they can't have gotten far, right? And aren't there only like 3 roads in this town? Couldn't they be pursuing Tom and Sonic right now instead of Robotnik wasting time being a smarmy butthole?
Okay, pal, out you go.
So you're telling me that Tom assaulted a government agent, escaped certain death with the help of Sonic, loaded up in the truck and absconded with what he thinks is an alien creature, drove all the way out of town, and once the alien tells a perfectly plausible alien story, he tries to kick him out of the truck? The kind of reaction is this?
So, as I crashed into the cold, dark water of the Pacific...
Okay, look, I need to know how fast Sonic is. Montana's a big state, but even if they're on the far west side of it, it would be at least 400 miles each way to reach the Pacific Ocean. And radar previously clocked him at 296 miles per hour. But he did this at least 800-mile journey in seconds. Just let us know what his powers are, movie. We can handle math, I promise. Also, Sonic seems to know an awful lot about our world, which means he'd know about the internet and Google Maps and all that shit. So why can't he ask Tom what the pointy building in San Fran is called? Look it up on Tom's phone and boom! He's there and back in seconds, and I'm gonna have to watch the rest of this movie. All in favor?
I'm wet, I'm cold, there's a fish on my head!
I could buy that he's cold, but there's no fucking way he's still wet, or that the fish would have stayed on his head during the journey, considering the speed he was going.
Stay in the car. I don't want anybody seeing you.
Great idea! Sonic has been shown to have incredible patience and the ability to do what he's told, and there's no reason whatsoever to take him to the phone booth with you. Come on over to the wild, can't resist temptation party, where all lead characters are lured by excitement and danger. You'll know a CRT party when they conveniently appear out of the window when all was quiet moments ago. You right in the ear, Tom. Not only did you not lock the doors or set the alarm on your truck while you went to do your business, you didn't even fucking roll the windows up. You really think this alien hedgehog is gonna follow the stern warning with all these escape possibilities?
What can I get you fellas?
Playing off that this is a kid in a mask is ridiculous. Sonic's blinking eyes are as large as the waitress's lady lumps. Why does no one freak out about this?
Oh, he's actually 43 years old and suffers from a very rare skin disease that makes him look like that.
Also known as the Scooby-Doo in obvious and terrible disguise defense, which has worked a shocking amount of times.
And now that I'm leaving Earth forever, I guess I missed my chance.
But why leave Earth forever when there are so many places to relocate? He could say anywhere on Earth and start over. New Delhi, Whistler, Eggendorf, Churchtown, Branson, fucking Missouri, for all I care. Okay, first off, no one notices this bullshit. This bar is full of belligerent large drunks and no one notices the supersonic dart throw or the damages to all those Corona extras. Also, how in the ever-loving shit does this poor lady survive this? She should be full of more holes than Sonny Corleone at the fucking toll stop. I don't care that the movie's ripping off a bunch of other movies that do this supersonic sequence, but I do care that there's not enough time to take a selfie with this asshole. The speed at which Sonic is traveling would mean the aperture would be relatively open for this entire stunt, not taking a full photo this quickly. Also, here's one of the main issues with this scene in general. Sonic creates this Rube Goldberg trap for everyone in the bar except Cyclops, like he's done this hundreds of times. Like with Quicksilver and X-Men, we figured he had pulled some of these pranks before and had honed his craft. Do we think Sonic's ever done something like this? What a waste. In spring of 2020, these dudes would be selling for $3,700 apiece.
Oh, wait a second, did we even pay our tab? It doesn't matter!
F*** you. It doesn't matter. Your server made a special case to get you into this bar, then got shot full of darts, then had all her customers annihilate each other. Hope you're happy when she can't make rent, has to pull her kids out of school so they can start fencing watches on the street, and only then they can have a lukewarm dinner of macaroni and cheese once per week. Damn it, if only we had motor vehicles we could use to chase these bastards down this incredibly straight road. Ah well, let's head back inside and hit up another round of Appletinis. And suddenly we have 2 bucket lists, as this clearly is not the same one that we were shown 2 minutes ago. This is a massive continuity error, all because we're supposed to catch feelings about Sonic wanting a friend. I just want to know when he dressed up like Elvis, or why calling into a radio station is still a thing.
Thomas Wachowski, accused of committing an act of domestic terrorism.
Holy sudden volume increased news position, Batman. This TV has such perfect timing, it has to be on the plot to frame Tom.
Judging by the quickest route to San Francisco, the approximate speed of their vehicle.
Hang on, how the hell did Robotnik know they were going to San Francisco? Even though they threatened the big dude at the bar, he didn't know where the hell they were headed. Maybe there was a deleted scene that showed someone in the bar who knew, fuck it. They just didn't give any thought to this, did they?
I'm gonna move to San Francisco, become a street cop.
Tom is clearly delusional. He's a fugitive now, and there's zero chance he'd be dreaming of the streets of San Francisco. He'd be crushed that his dreams aren't coming true. I mean, if he were real, which he isn't.
Mayhem.
Wait, how did Robotnik set up this enormous tank at some rando California entrance ramp so quickly?
I was wrong about you. You're not the Donut Lord at all. You're more like the Jerk Lord.
Accusing someone of not being a hero while they are actively keeping a harpoon vehicle safely on the streets so you stay alive. Oh, sweet. It's that vintage Sonic maneuver where he blows it up by rolling into a ball. I actually think that's part of the game, but I honestly don't remember, since I was either too young or too high when I played it to remember the details.
If I don't make it, just ditch me. You seem good at that.
God, adolescent Sonic is almost as big of a dick as Teen Groot from the Guardians of the Galaxy. I feel like all these machines were exceptionally easy to kill. Like, if this actually was a video game, we'd be set on the beginner level, for sure. Not only does Tom do nothing to stop this laser-armed drone from cutting his car in half, he keeps fucking driving.
Sonic!
So what's wrong with him? He just passes out until they get to San Francisco, then magically wakes up and is fine again. Bombs do weird things to characters in movies, man. Sometimes they'll blow your arm clean off, and sometimes they'll just knock the wind out of you for several hours, even from the same distance. Why would the quill be lighting up like one of those glow sticks you get at raves right now? I thought it only responded when Sonic got all hot and bothered. Right now he's firmly on ice.
No, I am calling the FBI. I am calling the CIA.
Jesus, it seems the only character trait poor Rachel was given was really, hey, it's Tom. And thus begins a hilarious vintage Jim Carrey sequence, which wouldn't look out of place during his stand-up heyday back in the late 80s. And it's so good to have this off-the-wall Jim Carrey back that I have to remove a sip. Having said that, this is totally a Jim Carrey sequence, having almost nothing to do with Dr. Robotnik as a character, except that he's also harvesting the power of Sonic's quill. So, as endearing as this is, I'll probably just go back to watching old-school YouTube videos of Carrey's stand-up instead. The f*** does Rachel do that she can afford this huge-ass house in San Francisco? I'm not doubting she can, and does make serious bank, but have you seen the prices in San Francisco? She'd have to be Elon f***ing Musk to be able to afford this kitchen alone.
Jojo, untie your mother. Jojo!
I know they had to get the sister out of the picture, but these bungee cords wouldn't hold an unruly third grader, man. Not that I've tried or anything, I'm just estimating.
I have human smelling salts in my human first aid kit.
First off, why does Maddie, a veterinarian, carry around a human first aid kit that's accessible at a moment's notice? Second off, who the has fucking smelling salts in a first aid kit? That kit's for like gauze and antibiotic ointment and stuff. Does she also have an adrenaline needle in there in case Vincent Vega brings an overdose gangster's wife over to her place in the middle of the night?
So you won't hurt your feet anymore.
And that's the story of how Sonic received his iconic shoes. Forget that at any point in the movie he could have stolen them from the town along with all the other stolen or whatever he rummaged from the garbage in his cave.
No one's ever given me a gift before.
Oh yeah? What about your mother figure Longclaw, who literally gave up her life for you to be safe? That's not good enough for you?
Is there anything you didn't hit?
Why did we let the alien drive?
Why indeed? What purpose did this serve to the story at all? Tom drove them all the f***ing way from Montana, but leaves it up to Sonic to drive through San Francisco? Which, by the way, is impossible in the best of circumstances.
No good. You need a special key to get to the roof.
It's almost like the movie creators thought we'd forget that in the first minute of the movie we saw Sonic scale the building.
How much longer? I can't breathe in here.
Do you have your child in that bag?
Just to be clear, nothing ever comes out of this child in a bag moment, meaning the two adults who think they have discovered a toddler inside a bag do not report the incident, but rather slink away into the background like the cowards they are. Look, I know we're playing fast and loose with the rules, and I don't really know the security situation with the big pointy skyscraper in San Francisco, but I guarantee you it is not that easy to walk out onto this roof without anyone noticing. This faux goodbye takes so long that they could have had time to send an invitation to Dr. Robotnik via snail mail, have him RSVP, show up for some tasteful yet evil formal attire, then gather up his troops to meet them all at this location. He didn't prep all that shit ahead of time? Hell, this is as dumb as how long it takes for the Death Star to warm up before it fucks up a planet. Sonic goes in and out of consciousness more than Logan at the end of his movie. Why doesn't Sonic follow his friends through the portal? He throws the portal ring in front of him and below his pals, and they fall through the portal and he misses it? Did he run around the portal? Are we to assume it closed instantly? And if so, can anything in this movie follow its own goddamn rules?
So, here we are again.
Yes, back at the annoying crutch of narration. Thank God someone walked into the editing booth and said, "Whoa, that's the same spot where we started the movie. Let's roll that rad narration back, bruh." Robotnik should know better than to cause Sonic to do his Super Smash Bros. Ultimate pose. Jeez, now he's gonna reignite that long gestating Sega Nintendo feud. Me, they're killing more innocent city dwellers than the Avengers.
Lost visual contact!
Dr. Eggman relies so heavily on his robotic superiority that I find it impossible to believe he doesn't have an energy sensor diddly-whopper on his dashboard that would give him the upper hand throughout this entire chase sequence. Why in the goddamn hell would Sonic lead him back to Green Hills? Sure, the menfolk are tough and the women are true and stern, but what about, like, space? Can't Sonic survive in space? Can he lead Robotnik to an entire other world before now? Why does it have to be Earthbound? And why the hell does it have to be green fucking hills?
Tom?
Oh yeah, Sonic is dead again. Bummer. I guess, I don't know, clap a bunch and see if he comes back to life? Honestly, I've lost track of what does and doesn't harm him at this point. Also, now would be definitely a very good time to mourn the not real death of Sonic. You know, while a crazy man has a weapon that can blast holes through Deputy Pew Pew and McChainsaw. No, take your time. We'll wait.
He was my friend.
Oh my god, the power of friendship brought him back to life! Sweet. I mean, I don't know why he had to go all supersonic to send Robotnik to the Mushroom Kingdom, especially considering all he needed was a ring. But given the circumstances, I guess I'll celebrate like Doc Brown at the end of Back to the Future. The solo Sonic baseball game earlier may have been the most genuinely emotional moment in this entire movie. So the greatest sin by far is Sonic excluding a high five from his plot-dominant bucket list.
We can never go back there.
I mean, are we? Because it kind of feels like we're home right now.
But first, clear up that whole "I'm a terrorist, wanted by every government agency in the country" thing. Does anyone care about that?
You act like you've never seen a fight between an intergalactic space rodent and a robot with a doctorate.
A surprisingly clever line coming from a man who can barely remember to breathe and swallow.
No second best animal friends allowed in my room.
And so, the nasty roof people live happily ever after with Sonic in the attic and the family dog, who apparently can climb the attic stairs to get to the family. Nothing makes sense, nobody cares, movie is over. Oh, it's not over. And so, the insane villain lives off hallucinogenic mushrooms, convinced he will find a way to return to Earth for revenge. We all know that won't happen until he's gained 75 pounds and looks like an actual egg, and it turns out that is difficult when you have the psilocybin runs. This movie is nowhere near epic enough for 3 endings. Okay, fine. And so, fucking Tails shows up for those dense enough to not realize that this movie is riddled with nods to a sequel. And hopefully, in that movie, we will find out how the fuck he managed to get a pair of red sneakers just like Sonic's. The fucking end.
The hideousness of that foot will haunt my dreams forever.
Did you know the CinemaSins writers have podcasts? Check out Sincast and Behind the Sins by searching for CinemaSins wherever you listen to podcasts.
This is the island where I'm from. It had everything. Sandy beaches,
Geeks, Sherpas, a Jamaican nurse wearing a shower cap.
Tommy, how's the peeping?
I did it!
Congratulations, you played yourself.
The future is now! Soon every American home will integrate their television, phone, and computer.
You're crazy. I like you, but you're crazy.
Listen, Mr. Doctor.
Mr. Doctor,
It's strange.
maybe. Who am I to judge?
Road trip? Whoop whoop! Ricka. Ha, 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 ha.
Really?
But I'm very badly injured. I think my legs might be broken.
All right, Eggman.
You want to get nuts? Come on! Let's get nuts.
Who the hell do you think you are?
Star-Lord.